Who would have ever thought that one day we would be using rechargeable light bulbs? These light bulbs do not need a socket. You're no longer tied to a wall outlet or to a ceiling jack. You can put these lights anywhere. You can put your lamp stand anywhere, and these are going to work regardless if you've got an outlet there or not. You can use these a couple of different ways. One way is that you can long press the power button on the bulb itself, and you can power that anywhere. Now they do have some hangers that you could use, and that's where your push button on the light bulb would come in really handy. So you got these hangers that you can put like out in a shed or out in a garage, and you can power these on with a long press. And then after a long press, you have 3 lighting modes. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Super nice, super handy to have. Now these are an E26, E27 base, which means that they're gonna fit in your standard lamp and your regular light socket for a ceiling light or any other light for that matter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you this lamp here. And with this lamp here, it's already on. So this lamp is only powered by electricity. So I'm gonna take the lampshade off, replace it with a couple of new bulbs, and then we're gonna see what that looks like. Before we do that, I want you to notice right here that while it is charging, you do have a red LED light inside the bulb itself, and then when it is fully charged, that is going to turn green. Now, another thing that's important for you to note is that it does come with 2 charging cables, 4 of these hooks, 2 remote controls, so that you're not tied down to such a short charging cable. You can use your own charging cable. I want you to notice that I'm using about a 6-footer here. This is my own personal charging cable so that I'm not tied to the wall. Super nice, super handy. Okay, so I mentioned you got 2 remotes. Now with the remote, you're not tied to a switch. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you're plugged in or not plugged in. I'm still plugged in right now, but that's not gonna turn my bulbs on. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead, just for this video, I'm gonna unplug your lamp on the remote. You can power those on and you can power those off. And then you've also got, when they're on, you got your 3 different lighting modes. There's a warm white, there is a white, and then there's a cool white. You can also lower those, and you can intensify those, so they are dimmable. You can also turn those to 50% or 100%, and then you can also set them on a timer for 15, 30, 60, and 120 minutes, all of that right through the remote control. Now I'm telling you, with light bulbs like this, these are going to come in great for several different scenarios. Probably the most important scenario is in an emergency situation, in a power outage. If power goes out, these are always going to work. I want you to remember this lamp is not plugged in. There's no power to this bad boy. So it's working just fine, and it's all with the remote. So one thing that you're gonna have to remember is keeping your remote handy in a place that you can find it for those emergency situations. Another thing that makes these super versatile is the fact that you don't have to be tied to an outlet. You can move this anywhere in a room. You can now have a lamp on your nightstand, on your end table, or you can have it in any room of the house. Now with these hooks, it makes it super handy to have it in the garage, in a stairway, in a closet, out in a shed. It doesn't matter. These things are gonna work, and it's gonna work as long as your lights are charged. Now it's gonna take a couple hours to get your lights charged, and if you have your lights on the brightest mode, you're gonna get 4 hours out of them, 4 hours out of the brightest white light. And then if you put it on low, or if you put it 50% or lower, you're gonna get about 40 hours of light out of those. There's your warm white, your natural white, and your cool white. One last thing I wanna show you with these light bulbs is that if you have one of these that are in the hook, you can hold your power button and you can dim that down, release it and back on, and bring it back up again. You can short press it to change it through the 3 lighting modes, power it off, long press to turn it back on, long press to dim it, long press to turn it back up, short press to go through your temperatures.